The American Studies Association says it will go ahead with its decision to boycott Israel. The incoming president of the association says she will fully support the boycott against the Israeli academics over Tel Aviv's conflict with Palestinians. The move was launched last month by the 5,000-member association. The American Studies Association says Israeli institutions that aid and support the illegal occupation are to be boycotted over the discriminatory treatment of Palestinians. Meanwhile, two New York politicians have introduced a legislation to pull state funding from any public college that boycotts Israel. Joining us now from Berkeley, California via Skype is Ralph Schonman. He's the author of The Hidden History of Zionism. Many thanks for joining us here on Press TV, Mr. Schonman. Now, first of all, how significant do you think is this step by the American Studies Association to stick and abide by its earlier decision to boycott Israeli academic institutions?
It's reflective of the growing opinion amongst academics and professors and students across the United States that the Israeli state is in fact a state that is engaged in a total discrimination against the rights of the population of the Palestinian nation, deprived of their land, deprived of their rights, and indeed of their academic freedom in every important sense. The academics in question are well aware of the fact that the Israeli state had adopted the laws of the Jewish National Fund, which requires at least 4 generations of maternal Jewish descent to have the right to work land or own land or sharecrop or let it. These are such outrageous violations of basic human rights and the right of self-determination that it is entirely appropriate that people engaged in intellectual activity and in the professions that the universities promote should defend the rights of the Palestinian people and defend the principles that are involved in the upholding of those rights. The act on the part of these Congress people who are basically instruments of the Israeli state are gross violations of academic freedom and of the right of individuals to exercise their conscience according to their own lights, which everyone in the United States is supposedly to have the right to do.
Right, Mr. Schonman, right now, as we just reported, 2 New York politicians have introduced legislation to pull state funding from any public college that boycotts Israel. This goes to show the state of basically bias toward Israel and the Zionist regime in the sense that colleges and institutions don't even have the freedom to make their own decisions.
Well, actually, it's important to point out that a New York University spokesperson, John Beckham, who individually opposes the boycott, wholly resists and opposes the actions of these legislators, Jeffrey Klein and Dov Hikind, who are basically reflecting an attempt to suppress dissent and to, as you state, uphold the Israeli state's predominance over political and intellectual life in the United States, which most people resist now, don't accept, reject, and don't allow any longer this intimidation that has been part of the furniture of American life for all too long.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. That was Ralph Schonman, the author of Hidden History of Zionism, joining us from Berkeley via Skype. Mr. Schonman, it's always a pleasure having you with us here on Press TV.